Hey guys, welcome back to my channel for another video. So welcome back to Keeping It Real Business Chats. This is episode number 3 out of 4. And today we're going to dive deeper into marketing. And I like to talk about this topic a little bit differently than what you may see because we make this topic so complex when there are intricacies to it, but we make it harder than what it actually is. And so I'm gonna talk about today what marketing is, what it is not, how you can execute, and just the easiest way to show up so that you are continually selling your products and services. And when we talk about marketing and what it is and what it's not, a lot of times, myself included, business owners, we feel really cringy about marketing. I feel like people are tired of hearing about our products and services. We're afraid of what others will think about us. And the honest truth is, the easiest way to think about marketing is thinking about it like a conversation between you and your customer. When you know what you're selling, when you know why it's so great, when you know who your customer is and why they would need what you're selling, now you're just sharing that, because the truth is, someone is out there looking for a product or a service. People are out there, they have needs, okay? If I'm thirsty, I'm looking for water. If I'm confused, I'm looking for coaching. I'm looking for help. So people are out there looking for products and services, and they're only going to know what you talk about. They're only going to know what's available when they see it positioned and marketed to them. And so the truth of the matter is, as you are not marketing, as you're quiet about what you're selling, somebody else is talking about it and someone's going to buy it from somebody else. And so in order to be considered, you have to open your mouth and share. And so I want to make this really simple, but just remember that marketing is truly a conversation between you and your customer. And the more you know your customer, like we talked about in our last video, and the more you know about your brand, which we'll talk about in this video, the easier it will be. And there are some good ways to market and some not so good ways to market. So we'll talk about that as well. So one of the first things I want to share with y'all is people absolutely need to see you multiple times. So there's this term that we talk about in marketing and in business, and it's called the attention economy. And the attention economy just means that we are all vying for our customers' attention. We are competing with each other to keep our customers' attention. This tells you should be showing off your products and services more than one way, in different and creative ways, in multiple times. And so this tells me that I need to be showing up in different spaces, in my email, on social media, video, pictures, ads, etc. But then also I need to be doing things more than one time, especially as these algorithms are changing, like with Instagram and just all these different platforms. You rarely see the people that you are subscribed to or following. And so think about your customer. They may be following you, they may have their notifications turned on, or they may not. And so you said it one time, you marketed yourself that one time, but who really even saw that? And so keeping the attention economy in mind and knowing that we are in this space as we are just growing with digital technology and all these things, it is telling me, like, instead of sitting here wondering if I should say something, instead I don't have time to worry about the ifs and the ands and the buts. I don't have time for fear and anxiety. I'll link a video down below where I talked about, for those of us who are afraid to post online, we don't have time to wonder about, okay, should I post now? Instead, we should be thinking about, okay, what should I do this time? How can I change it up this time? And this is where you can start to get creative with having videos or having different graphics or having different pictures. There's good ways to market and then not so good ways. And I talk to you all the time about how I got started in my first business, a clothing store, and what I was doing was not so good. Like, the hype died way too soon because I didn't really think about creativity. My only mode of marketing was to show off the same pictures that I took at one photo shoot. And I said things like, hey, y'all, buy this. Hey, y'all, shop now. And, the first time they see those pictures, it's cute and exciting. But buy now, like, that's so not convincing. And so when I went on this quest to figure out how to make somebody excited to buy from me, I had to get strategic with what I said, which is where storytelling with your videos and having an ideal customer comes into play. And we'll get into that, but just know that this first little point is that we are in an attention economy. And so because of that, we have to be really creative with how we show up. And one of the first things that you want to start with as you are coming up with an idea, whenever you're coming up with an idea of something to sell, whether it's a product or a service, you should at the same time be coming up with ideas for content to post around that product or service. So it's not just enough. I know as entrepreneurs, we have so much on our plate of website, pricing, taxes, budget, products, all these things. And also to add on to it, you have to understand that we can't just create a product and say, if we build it, they'll come. How they gonna know about it? Like, we need to have content that's gonna be surrounding that product or service so that your launch or your marketing is just that much easier. In order for somebody to want to buy for you, we're gonna get into like the customer buying journey so you understand how your customer is thinking, like the psychology behind selling something. But before we can even get to that, you gotta know, in order for them to wanna buy from you, they have to know about your brand. But before they can know about it, you gotta know who you are. Like, I think a lot of times we have struggled with marketing because we don't even know what we wanna say about ourselves. We don't even know what's so great about our products or services. We don't even feel that confident about what we're selling. And so before you even think about going out there and marketing something, I want you to like take a moment to go inward and ask yourself, do you truly even know who your brand is? Do you truly even know who you are or how you want to be represented, so that when you turn around and market, you know what to say? Because one of my cheat codes, and we'll talk about this in my next video, but one of my cheat codes to business is branding. And I always talk about branding, but when you know your brand, when you take time to define and develop a brand, marketing becomes so much easier, because from there, all you have to do is communicate your brand over and over and over again. And so I'm going to ask you guys, I think 6 or 7 questions right here from my notes, that when you answer these questions, think about them, write out the answers, and the answers to these questions can turn into your marketing, truly. So first question, what is your product or service? Simple, not much thought. What are you selling? Who is it meant to help and how? So what are you selling? And then who is it meant to help and how? So write out, and in this section, this sentence truly is marketing, because when you talk about the how it's going to help somebody, you're highlighting the benefits. If you've never thought about this, I don't care what you're selling. People used to say, when I used to coach boutique owners, they'd be like, girl, I'm selling a t-shirt. How is this helpful? This is how you get creative. This is when I developed the branding behind Fearless. This shirt, how is it going to help somebody? It's going to help the working professional be comfortable because it's soft, but still cute because of how it is. Like, just think deeper. Who are you going to sell that to? And how is it meant to help that person specifically? What is so special about what you are selling compared to what's already out there in the market? So how do you differentiate from your competition? Because this is what your customer is going to be wondering. Like, okay, girl, that's cute, or okay, guy, that's cute. You're selling this, but so is so-and-so, and they're more established and they have more reviews and they've been out longer. And so when you can highlight what is so beneficial about yours compared to everybody else, now these are things that you can be talking about. Now this is an entire series that you can put out of pictures, of emails, of videos, of ads, highlighting how it's different compared to competition. So ask yourself, and if you don't know, or if you can't voice why what you're selling is so special, again, let's get creative, or go do some research of what's already out there so that you can highlight what you're doing differently. Another question, which goes deeper into you as a person, is, okay, why did you create this product or service? So what was your whole thought process behind creating this service or this product? Like, what does this mean to you? What is your story? And again, if you don't have one, think about it now. Looking at what you want to sell, how do you connect to it? Because how you connect to it could also be how your customer connects to it. And one of the easiest ways to sell when it comes to psychology of selling is the emotional aspect of it. If you can pull on somebody's emotional heartstrings, you got their wallet, okay? This is not manipulation. This is just strategic selling, okay? What feelings do you want your customer to have when they are using or when they have that product? Let's say when they are using that product. So when they're wearing that product, they're using the microphone, when they're using your financial services, what feelings do you want them to have? And so again, pointing these things out can then help you when you're coming with your content, like video marketing. If you want them to have a feeling of peace, of happiness, then the background of your video should be peace, maybe some spa music, or you're excited when you're talking. So these things are going to be helpful for you when you are creating the content, but then also for you when you are speaking about your products and services. So the words you use, which is your messaging, which is extremely important, but then also how you portray that through your videos. And we'll get more into that in the next section. What words can you use to describe your business or your products or services? So for me, I used to always say bold. Right now, I would say empowering, inspiring, educational, and these words keep you grounded. So they're also like keywords to use in your emails and again in your messaging, but it also keeps you grounded as you are continually running your business. And the last question, which kind of ties it all together, is what is one like short story or example that you can kind of write out that shows what your business or what your products and services is all about? Because as soon as you have a story to tell, that makes, again, you coming on camera like this that much easier. Write out multiple stories if you have some, thinking about explaining what your business is all about. Like I said, marketing itself is creative and it's just a conversation between you and your customer. And when you have no customers or you feel like you have nobody to talk to, just start sharing your story. That's just what I did. I used to come on here and just share my story on Instagram about what made me want to have faith over fear, or how I started my business. And all of these stories that I tell get people drawn in, interested, and wanting to know more and connected with my products and services. And so answer these questions, write these things down, and this becomes the beginning of your marketing. What are some good ways to market as you are like answering these questions that I just gave to y'all? Two things I want y'all to keep in mind. Number one is storytelling. So just how I said in that last question, what's a story that you can tell? If you think of your marketing like storytelling, think of like the modern day commercial where you can tell your audience about your business. But I think another cool thing is asking yourself, how can you show that? And one of the things that I like to do most in my business is video marketing. From my experience, videos just catch more attention, especially as social media platforms are changing. They're prioritizing videos over pictures anyways. And so really, as you are answering these questions, as you are developing your product and services, as you are getting ready to launch, or as you're growing your business now, thinking of different ways to capture all of these great things in video form. If you are selling a physical product, then get really creative with your video. So how can you show what your product does rather than just say what your product does? If you are selling a service, then let my YouTube channel be an example. So in my business, I am a brand strategist. I am a consultant. Outside of YouTube, I do this with companies and businesses full time. And so my videos are that informational piece. I'm giving you guys information. You see my expertise. You work with me outside of it if you desire to. So depending on what it is you are selling, whatever service you're selling, I always give the examples of like a fitness instructor, a nutritionist, a financial advisor, a coach, a life coach, all these things. You come on and you give bits and pieces of what you know your audience needs. This is you doing video. This is you marketing. And so video marketing doesn't have to be on YouTube, although I love YouTube, but y'all know y'all can be on any social media network possible. But ask yourself, how can you show them rather than just tell them? So I can tell you, I can make a video right now just saying, hey guys, I'm a brand strategist and I can help you come up with a brand. I can help you come up with your messaging. I can help you market your business. Or I'm making a video right now telling you, giving y'all questions to ask yourself to start developing your brand. You know, as a financial advisor, I can say, hey guys, I can help you with your budget. I can help you, grow your income. Or you can come on and give tips and advice on a beginner budget, things to remember as you create your own budget. And some people will say, well, doesn't that take away people needing me? No, I'm telling you from experience, it doesn't. As a teacher, I know, I tell this all the time, but as a teacher, I know that there's some people who just need a little bit of information. They watch this, they're good. Then there's some students who feel like, okay, I got that information. Now I need to check in and see, am I getting this right? So they may come for one coaching session. There's some people who's like, listen, girl, I got a full-time career, family. I ain't got time for all this. Can you just do this for me? Then they come for the consulting. And so it's still good to put yourself out there because people can see your expertise and it just helps to build trust with your customer. Before we end this video, I want to go into the customer buying journey. Let's step into the mind of your customers so that you understand how they operate, how they're thinking, and how you need to be showing up to capture the sale. There are 4 steps that I say in my experience with the customer buying journey. So typically customers first have to find you. So they have to find you on social media or find you online somewhere or find your brick and mortar business or something, find you in the yellow pages. I don't know. In order for them to find you, you have to be visible, meaning you have to put yourself out there some way. Then they have to learn about you. So they have to learn about your products and services. So you're not just an Instagram page with a picture, a profile picture and no content. You're not just a YouTube channel with a profile picture and no content. They have to actually learn about what you're selling. So this is why it's good to have content that does inform. We have content that inspires, content that motivates, but content that informs. Then once they learn about what you do, they start to consider, should they choose you or should they choose somebody else? Should they choose you or should they choose someone who has more credibility, someone who has more skin in the game? And so this is when you start to highlight those benefits. This is how you start to talk about what you're doing is so unique versus others who are in the industry. Or you start to showcase other parts of yourself. Once they're considering between you and somebody else, then they decide to buy. Now, this is a 4-step process, but it's not always linear because think about yourself as a person or think about yourself as a consumer. Or let's say I find somebody, I learn about them pretty quickly. I like them. Let's say I'm already wanting to buy something. I want a lot of help. So when I find them, I see they're consistent. I see that I like them. I may buy from them. Or I could be on the fence. One of the things I want to point out here is that your customer a lot of time is on the fence. When you're marketing, when you're showcasing your products and services and you're putting yourself out there, but you're not really getting sales yet, this is not a time to stop because people are likely on the fence and they're still weighing. They're in that considering phase, you or somebody else. Or they're still in that learning phase. What is it that she really does? What is it that they really do? And a lot of times you may get add to carts or abandoned carts. And this is because people are in that considering phase. And when they're considering or when you have abandoned carts, this is not the time to say, oh, okay, this is not working out. This is a time to continue showing up because this is going to help them to consider and get off the fence and buy. And so knowing how this is how customers operate, from finding, learning, considering, buying. This tells me that I can't just post one time and I can't just post the same thing over and over again. I have to be creative. I have to be informative. I have to be inspiring. I have to showcase the benefits. I have to be consistent. And as I do these things, you will get sales. And again, people are finding you at different stages in their buying journey. Some people are just understanding like, oh, you know what? I really want something like this. Let me go do some research. Some people are like, oh, I've been thinking about this thing for the last 6 months. I need to buy it today. And so you may find people who are ready to buy immediately and some people who need a little bit more convincing. So all this means for you is you just got to keep showing up. And so that it doesn't feel redundant and like you're doing the same thing over and over again, you want to get creative with how you show up. Again, different pieces of content answering one of those questions. So again, have content that talks about the benefits, have content that shows better than tells, have content that is telling a story that you and your customer can connect with emotionally. And so all of these are extremely important. And so when you're showing up in your content and when you're showing up online and marketing, I think the main thing for you to remember is to not give up so easily and to keep going and knowing that you are doing your part. And at the same time, people are coming and looking for what it is you're selling. Final point for this video specifically is things do die out naturally, and instead of giving up, be prepared to pivot. So one of the things that I learned in marketing and in business, especially in school, is that there is a natural life cycle to a product when it comes to marketing. So there's a time for somebody to be hype, okay, and things go through their normal wave of people being excited, they're anticipating it, they're ready to buy it, they're sharing it word of mouth, you're getting even more customers, and things are popping, right? And just as quickly as they were popping and excited, things die down. Your customer learned about it, they bought it, they have it, they're moving on to the next thing. And so one of the things that makes a strong entrepreneur is being able to anticipate those, I guess, dying out aspects of things. And so I say all that to say, maybe you're somebody who you've been doing this for a long time, or you've been having a product that's been doing really well, but now things aren't going as well. And you're asking, like, what am I doing wrong? Sometimes it can just be the market itself, and that this product is no longer what people are looking for. And so keep your ears to the streets of your business. I always say that, but this just means like you need to be looking more inwardly than you're looking outwardly. It's good to know what's going on in the market, know what's going on, what's new, what's changing, but also look inward, because your analytics tell a story. And in the next Keeping It Real Business Chats video, I'll talk about analytics. It won't be the next video because I want to do some other videos on ebooks and my business anniversary, which is coming up on July 1st. But just know in the next Keeping It Real Business Chats video, we'll go deeper into analytics, because being able to understand what's going on inwardly helps you to continue progressing forward. And so when it comes to things dying out and being able to anticipate that, this is when you know, okay, let me make a pivot. Let me do something different. Let me do something better. Let me improve, etc. So we'll go into that next. But for now, as you are marketing in your business, remember that it is just a conversation between you and your customer. And if you're not talking, then nobody's buying. If nobody's buying, ask yourself, are you talking? Are you sharing? Are you highlighting the benefits? Or are you just saying, hey, buy this? Hey, come get this. Hey, shop now. And so if you need help developing your marketing or your business in any way, then check out the links down below. I would love to help you guys as your brand strategist, as your consultant. And if you're new to my channel, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video.